The world's largest coral reef system is off the coast of Australia. It's called the Great Barrier Reef, and it's one of the World Heritage Sites. So it's a very important place. A lot of people visit it every year. It's a big place for tourism, and it's one of the world's natural wonders. Well, unfortunately, half of it is gone, and we've lost half of it over the span of 27 years. And this is because of three main reasons, and in the end, it's because of us. So one thing I want to mention right now is just that there's a town off the side of Australia called Queensland, and they have coal producing going on there. And so there's political tension between producing coal or helping the environment that the government's dealing with. So this is what happened, though I'm going to explain, to the Great Barrier Reef. Since about 1985, we've had tropical cyclones there. So 34 storms have happened, and that's a lot to deal with because the reef needs time to recover each time, and it's not getting enough time to recover in between drastic storm events to kind of help replenish itself. So that's one thing. And of course those happen because of global warming and because of the feedback loop that's been created from the warming of the surface, and that's one of the things that we started but now is completely out of our control. And that accounts for 48% of the damage in the reef. So just the storms alone is huge. The second thing that caused less harm is bleaching events. So this is when you get hotter water because of global warming, so another effect, and also bleaching in the ocean, which comes from CO2 circulation in the air that starts building up carbon inside of the water. And that kills species, and it makes the coral reef go white and put itself in this safety security mode. And it's harder in the warm water for the coral reef to attract the food that they need to eat. So they end up dying because they're in safe mode and they don't have any food. And they're all white. They're a little ghosty, sad place. And that only counts for 10% of the damage. So two things from global warming causing the damage. The third thing is really interesting. There's a species of starfish called crown of thorns, and they have these huge population blooms lately. Booms, sorry. So that accounts for 42% of the damage. It means that these starfish are messing up the whole level of the system, and the coral are getting less and less and less life because of it. And what happens is they're eating algae, right? That's their thing. They eat algae, and then they go and they eat the coral, right? So what happened is all this algae is out in the ocean, and scientists have found that it's because there's runoff into the ocean of fertilizer from these farms, and that's making the algae boom in population, and then therefore making these starfish boom in population, and they're accounting for 42% of the damage. So in response to this, the government says, okay, we can't do anything about those first two things, but we can start dealing with this population of crown of thorns starfish and see if we can diminish their power, right? So stop the fertilization runoff, for example. And there's a chance for this to work, but we pretty much only have 10 more years, and because the recovery period for getting back what we've lost is 10 to 20 years. And when we're dealing with storms and intervals, we really have to act fast when it comes to these kind of things. So the government, like I said, is kind of dealing with, negotiating with the lucrative coal business and kind of going the bad route, or, they've been giving these coal industries and all these runoff places lots of guidelines, and they're doing a really great job with it, but there's always money to consider. So in the end, I think that they have to worry about, if we lose this World Heritage Site, that's losing a lot of money for tourism, and it's a political statement too, showing what you really care a lot about. So I think that the government's in the right track because they are putting up guidelines and they are putting money into saving it, but we have to be wary of what we're really doing with our environment and keep the guidelines strong.